All right. All right. Welcome back to another episode of. I'm just kidding. There aren't like real episodes at this point. We're just playing, having a good time. This is going to be another session, perhaps. Maybe that's a better phrase, of Dyson Sphere Program. If I remember where we left off last time, we were dealing with a certain plastic supply issue. I do, in fact, have a Post-it and a pen with me, so we can kind of mark down these issues as we go and not be starting from scratch every time we load in. If you had a chance to check out my video yesterday around mods, we do have a few quality of life features that we're now able to play with. So if we, for instance, wanted to copy this stack, you can see that we have our little sorters copying along with us. I'm trying to think of anything else I found that was a helpful quality of life feature. I think there's one or two more, but I'll have to come up. Oh, I think there's one. Yeah, so this is new. I honestly don't know how this works, but I did include a new Dyson Sphere Progress mod. I think it's this thing down here. I don't know because we're not really doing anything with the Dyson Sphere here. But something to keep in mind if you are more of a Dyson Sphere person, that there are mods for that as well. And it looks like, it's just starting to grow as a community. It sounds like there are people who are really interested and invested in growing that community. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so we got some issues. Looks like this isn't as much of a problem as I thought it might be. We're still making these guys. I don't know if you guys saw that weird little blackout for a second. Not sure what's going on there, but we're still making these guys. This is making... Ooh, woof. Okay, we don't have enough of these super magnetic rings. They're supposed to be coming from here. Cool, they're in transit. So we'll be making more of these guys, and we should have more in storage pretty soon. Okay, so we were going to make more plastic, if I remember correctly. We discussed where we ought to put the new plastic that we are making. Let's see what's going on over here. Awesome. We have a fair amount of deuterium building up here. Oh, beautiful. What is our energy production? We're still going off of those guys. Let's grab a few of these for ourselves. Okay. We're going to stuff the rest of our... So that's interesting. So 2.88 gigajoules there. We add these, 26.8. So these are way more effective than these full accumulators. Energy is 90 megajoules here. Energy is 600 megajoules here. Yeah, so that's a pretty substantial difference. We won't have to worry about power pretty much ever again at this point, honestly, which is nice at this point in the game. We probably don't need this graphite anymore, but you know what? We'll hold on to it for old time's sake. Okay, so what else we got going on here? This is not running at all because we don't have any... Man, those freaking... These guys, these must be like just our highest demand things right now because we can't seem to keep these in stock. Let's go over here and see what's going on. We do have some of this strange matter. Let's recap on what we're trying to do here. We're making strange matter because we want to unlock the gravity matrix. This is these green cubes. These convert very well into space warpers, which are required to move about your galaxy, or rather local system, right? So we have already decided that for our next step, we want to go to this neutron star or this black hole and get some unipolar magnets. And the reason that we want to mine that special resource is because unipolar magnets feature heavily into the advanced recipe for particle containers. Particle containers are an essential unit or an input resource for strange matter. So what we're really trying to do is push forward into being able to automate graviton lenses, which are a required input for these green cubes here. So I think the plan right now is to manually make them, and that's why we have this kind of janky little setup here to manually make some of these strange matter components. So we're going to manually make them so we have enough graviton lenses to actually leave and go set up a more sustainable platform for getting those unipolar magnets out of that black hole or neutron star, whichever we decide. But to do that, we have to get this quantum chip done. And it looks like the hard blocker here is our purple cubes, if I'm understanding correctly. And if we went over to our purple cube construction section, I believe what we will find is that our purple cubes are not running because we do not have any plastic. So if we look at what's going on here, our plastic supply is just completely not functional right now. And if we move over to our lab section of the planet, I think we can find out why. It looks like our plastic is just not being made quickly enough for it to surpass its use in making these earth crystal, organic crystal guys here, right? And the trick with the organic crystals is that we are using them to create these titanium crystals over here, which we are then flowing over here. We don't have any titanium crystals saved up here, so they're clearly being used to something. I think they're actually being used for yellow cubes. So not only we're running into an issue where we don't have as many yellow cubes, but we also then have that impact the whole purple cube situation. So there's a lot going on here, but I think the main takeaway is that we want to set up a separate space to create our plastic, because we clearly need more plastic. So one thing we can also do is kind of evaluate what's going wrong now. It looks like our graphite chain is just frankly like incredibly wonky. I don't really know what's going on here. This does not seem to be like nearly enough graphite, and we are not using this coal vein very appropriately. So the one other thing we could try first is just kind of reworking this whole situation to acknowledge where we're actually sending things. So we're sending the graphite out here, and that is being used. I don't know what's going on. Where is this line coming from? Oh, it's being used by these little diamond production guys. We have 10,000 of these. How are we even still making them? Or not is the answer. They're getting absorbed somehow. What are they going out to? Are they moving out? Okay, yep. They're being used to make the yellow cubes. I see. Okay. So maybe what we want to do is just get rid of all of this. This is confusing to me. We're sending half of this way. We're sending half of it that way. We're sending the extra graphite that isn't getting picked up in our plastic facility back that way. I don't love any of this. So we're going to delete all of it. This is going to be some short-term pain and some long-term gain is my thought process here. And we have a few mods that are going to make this much easier on us. So I'm not entirely put out by this concept. Okay, there is one more mod that will let you do like an area delete. That would be pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so first things first, let's maximize our input over here because that's going to be a lot easier. There we go. Let me get another one set up here. Set one up here. We don't want to bump into anything. Maybe do one sideways like this and one sideways like this. I know. There we go. It's a Skystorm video that I watched a few days ago where he shows that you can actually rotate these either way using the arrow keys, which is pretty neat. I gotta be honest with you, I'm pretty lazy, and it's frankly just easier for me to rotate them all the way around. So that's what you get, kids. Be careful about being lazy. Okay, so we have all this hooked up. How many of these do we actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, that's a nice even number. No, I just can't count. I literally cannot count. Okay, so we have 6 of these. So we're gonna send 3 of these to each side. And I'm going to use, I don't think it really matters. Maybe that's like an unpopular opinion. I don't really know. But I don't think it really matters which one of these we use. We're going to send them all into the same general belt here. And then I'm going to send this into a larger splitter, probably here. We'll do the exact same thing with these other ones. Go out maybe to here. And we're going to go down and into this. This can go into that too, and then we'll just hook up to the line. There we go. Oh, for those who are interested, our drink of the day is Magic Hat number 9. Great brewing company. Comes from the Magic Hat Brewing Company, so I guess it's a relatively eponymous ale here. They consider it a not quite pale ale. I think that's a pretty fair impression, all things considered. Has a little more body to it, I would say, than some of the other beers we've been having over the past few days. But Magic Hat number 9 is, I think, one of the first kind of craft beers I was introduced to in college, so it definitely holds a special place in my heart in that sense. I would also say that Magic Hat itself as a company, pretty cool place. They have a small brewery up in Vermont, in Burlington, Vermont. Unfortunately, I think I was reading just the other day that they've actually closed that brewery recently. I know that coronavirus has really hammered the brewing industry, and it's incredibly unfortunate to hear how many small breweries are really struggling right now. So if you can, make sure that you're out there supporting those smaller breweries. But I believe that they have now moved to Rochester, New York, upstate New York. So pretty exciting if you're in that area and you want to get out and support some great local breweries. That might be one way that you would be able to do that. And definitely solid beer. Quirky, fun people. They definitely, you can tell that they are from Burlington, generally like a quirky town in general, right? as far as Ben & Jerry's and some of the other kind of historical companies that have businesses rather that have thrived in Burlington. Really nice town though, all things considered. So I don't know what all things considered means. They're just nice people. It's not like a judgment call. But if you haven't had a chance to go to Burlington, highly recommend it. What I don't highly recommend is building or attempting to build a straight line this close to a pole. Clearly that was a huge mistake. I don't actually even know why we bothered to do that. But the good news is that hopefully we're ticking up instead of ticking down at this point. You'll also notice we got to show off our new mod here. Actually here, let me just dump one of these down here. Rotate this. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, and it doesn't retain that kind of outline. I should know that. Okay, so we're going to go this way. Ugh, I don't love doing this, but I think we're going to fix it. We're just going to fix it later, to be honest with you. This is not... I don't really love anything about what I'm doing right now, but I'm going to keep doing it because I don't have any remarkably better ideas. This seems to me to be one of those cases where this is just going to be not great. What are you upset about? Lack of material. Why is that? Oh, it's because... Oh, I don't know how that happened. That's interesting. And this got caught. You know what it was? I bet it's because I turned it around. Yeah, that's odd. That's very odd. Okay. Well, now we know. We're still figuring out some of the idiosyncrasies that we have here, right, with the copy sorter mod. Honestly, even just having to do only that is still a huge life save. So, huge time save, rather. So I'm very okay with that. Maybe what we'll do is build another splitter over here or something, because we're obviously not consuming the full max output here. This is just, frankly, terribly designed in all senses. So I think maybe it makes sense to split something off here as well. Let's do here. Maybe just right at the edge here. Let's back it up, Chief. There we go. Oh, I was using the Mark 1s on this. There we go. And then I switched straight to the 3s. We're trying to build... man, this is so annoying. You know what? How much space do we have sideways? We're just, executive decision, we're just going to go sideways, I think. Or not sideways, rather, but non-polar. We're going perpendicular to the poles. I don't know if that's... It's kind of like Pokemon Go to the poles. Woof, that's an old reference at this point. I don't know how many people get that, but we're just going to measure this here. Do we want to build on the inside? No, I don't think so. Let's do it on the other side, actually. But we'll get a little bit of foundation here. There we go. 6. I feel like you use this stuff like it's going out of business. It's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. But that's okay. Not the end of our world by any means. Okay, just going to curve around. Nope, I'm a little bit too low. There we go. Okay. So I think this feels more sustainable to me as like a nice setup that doesn't make me sad with how badly it gets jankified over here. And we'll run this up and over. So there we go. Okay. Man, the drone upgrades, you really notice that when you get to this level of the game, I have to say. I'm really noticing how nice it is to have the upgraded drones. And already to this is... Folks, this is the mod to get. This is crazy to me how much easier this is. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh, whoops. Well, okay. Almost so beautiful. There we go. Let's get this in here. Boom. Okay, so... Now all we got to do is place some power. Let's see. Are we? Ooh, nice. This is the new power is just phenomenal. It's really, really nice. Okay. So let us favor this direction. I think this is the wrong place to put this. I'm going to tell you right now. We want this to be over here. Let's get this little guy. Come on. Yep, we're just gonna... Man, we have all this space, and we're gonna cut it as close as humanly possible, apparently. I think we actually run this direction, and then down into here. We run that down into there, and then we tell this to favor that direction, but it's gonna clog up real fast. And so then we'll send everything this way. Let's see how this goes. This could be just totally wrong, but we'll see. All right, maybe we want to upgrade a little. Oh, huh. Well, maybe actually connecting everything would also be helpful. I swear, just easily 50% of the time, the problem is that I'm not actually playing this game very well. These are all hooked up. All right, let's upgrade this line. get that moving a little bit faster. So I'm trying to figure out, I don't know if any of you play Cities Skylines. It's another game that I enjoy playing a little bit. But City Skylines it's a city builder game, right? And the concept of the game revolves around, building out a functional city that can provide services to its citizens. But one of the things that you really have to be mindful of is how the traffic flows through your city, right? And the way that they discuss traffic in the game is around this concept of a roadway hierarchy, right? It's the idea that basically, small roads lead into bigger roads, and bigger roads break down into smaller roads as fewer people would need to use them. And I feel like that's something that you can start to apply in this game a little bit in terms of looking at an MK1 conveyor belt coming directly out of a mining machine, might go to an MK2 conveyor belt to actually move it around, might then go to an MK3 conveyor belt when you want to be able to make sure that you're fully populating all of your graphite, which in this case we're obviously not doing. So this is ugly. I don't love that at all. This is a purely aesthetic change, but you know what? I think it still counts. Let's put this maybe here. I'm gonna run. Oh, let's run that in there. No, I don't. No. Let's get everything lined up while we can, because the moral of the story is that if we don't get it lined up the first time, we're just gonna want to go back and fix it. There we go. Okay, cool. That looks much better. And we'll just delete this little tail there. Perfect. Okay. So what we should be seeing is awesome. Okay. I think we're finally approaching a graphite positive ratio into here. We'll just let this all kind of chunk down. It'll take a second, but we'll get there. I'm wondering, this is still clogging up. Maybe we actually do this instead. We want to be able to send excess graphite this way. We'll favor that. There we go. This looks better to me. I think this is better. That's probably how I should have designed this in the first place. It was probably obvious to everyone except me. Okay, so we've potentially fixed our original graphite problem, right? Let's see if that has fixed it over here. I think the answer is going to be probably definitely not, because this graph, what the heck is going on here? This doesn't make any sense to me. Where is this graphite even coming from? Oh, this is coming up from that huge graphite base that we built over here. So we're having graphite get pumped up from the byproduct of... Oh, wait. What? What? Is this... This is like Babby's first graphite production over here? Well, yeah, it must be, I guess. Okay. Well, this must be an early graphite facility that I built. None of this is even working right now. I don't even know. Let's just rip all this out, honestly. I don't know what's going on here. It's done. It's done. Get rid of all of it. I don't think we need any of these things. I'm going to have a lot of extra crap in my inventory now, aren't I? Okay. Let's see. Whoops. Let's see what we have that we can get rid of. Oil. Don't need it. Find oil like a hole in the head. Hydrogen. No, thank you. Let's resort that. Get rid of this coal. I don't want it. Okay. A little bit better. All right. So let us reconfigure this as well, because this is worthless. But let's think about what's happening. I mean, aside from how gross this production line is. Hold up. What's going on over here? Oh, exactly what we want to have going on over here. Never mind. These are all working appropriately. Okay, good. Cool. All right, so let's follow the graphite. It's going into this box, which feels pretty freaking useless. This is making extra hydrogen for, frankly, just no apparent reason other than I guess I unlocked this alternative refining method and felt that I needed to use it. And then the graphite goes along here. It meets with this graphite. Oh my gosh, graphite everywhere. So this graphite is being produced for the purposes of working with the red cubes. Interesting. Okay. And we're just not making anything that needs red cubes right now? Is that the idea? That we just don't need to make these? There's product stacking here. Okay, so we have so many red cubes that we just don't need to deal with this. Well, tell me something I don't know. There we go. Where are your red cubes now? Okay. So, again, just terrible. I mean, look at this. This is bad. All right, so let's get smarter about this. I think that we want to feed our graphite through this interstellar logic station. I think that we don't want to do this. And I actually think that it might be a little bit cleaner if we just run this line straight through. What if we do this? And then we will put graphite in this station as well. Run it straight up there. And then run this as graphite straight down here. Boom. That feels a lot cleaner to me. Okay, now that we've done that, we want to cut out just this middle. Ooh, nope, don't want to do that. All right, let's sever that. Boom. Okay. So this feels a little bit better to me. This isn't going to store any graphite, but what I think we can do is, oh my gosh, look at that. We're storing more graphite. Let's do that over here as well with some of our other graphite stations. This, in particular, is just a mess. How do we get... You know what? Maybe this is where we also take on our extra fuel, because we talked about needing to do that. If we set down a station here, I think we could pull in graphite and fuel. Yeah. All right, so this is going to break a lot of things for the time being, but I think that's okay. So let's first of all cut off this line that comes from red. This we got to be really careful about. This is feeding our entire power station chain, but I think we can get rid of it. Why is the hydrogen going that way? Hydrogen is going that way to fit into that. Let us see if we can build... Hydrogen could potentially go over. I think that might be a smart way to do this. I think we're just gonna rip all this out right now, though. Let's just... Ugh, it's gonna hurt. Hopefully this doesn't majorly fuck up anything else we were doing. Oh, sorry. Sorry, kids. I meant screw up. Okay. I think we put this down just smack in the middle, right? We just no regard for anything else that we're trying to plan. Just throw this up there. And cut this over there. All right. So first things first, we're going to run an oil line just straight into it. All right. So this is going to hold refined oil. It's going to hold graphite. And I think that's it. Okay, so now let's run a line out of here for the refined oil. And I think now we run this hydrogen line over the top. I want to go back 2. I want to go up over 2. Cut this down to size, down. Boom, beautiful. Okay, so our hydrogen hump here is just going to go right over this oil. We have graphite going in because we will have graphite coming in from this direction. We'll have graphite coming in from... Shit. I meant darn. Gee willikers. All right, we're getting there. Okay. Is this going to leave me enough room to build under here? Let's find out. Yes, perfect. Okay. There we go. So now we have graphite going in there as well. Awesome. So graphite coming in both of those ways. And then we can spit graphite out through here. And let's see if we can tighten this up a little bit. We'll send one. We've got to go. How? Probably can't go that way. No. Okay. Does that actually connect okay? Awesome. Okay. So we're going to go there. Go there. And we're going to send graphite that direction. Cool. Okay. Good news bears. Okay. So we did our job right here. what we did is hopefully not break anything. And oh my god, you can't even tell, frankly, that we're pulling in all of this refined oil. That is nuts. We have just oil coming out the wazoo right now. We have converted all of our thermal power stations to operate off of oil now. I don't know if you've noticed this. Yep, so we're not burning any hydrogen. It's purely refined oil. Yep, refined oil over there. Let me see if I pull up our power. Oof, that's actually kind of right on the edge there. Interesting. So I wonder what I still don't understand the difference between this discharging battery data and the real-time power data. I'm gonna have to learn from someone and understand how this works, because I just don't. I feel like it should be very obvious, but I thought that if we were discharging 141 megawatts into the system, we wouldn't have to actually be producing 145 or whatever the demand is. And it seems like that's not entirely the case. So I got to learn how that works. But today, I'm just going to dump 2 drones in there just in case. Those are supply. And let's pop over here. And now we're going to demand a little bit, maybe just like 600 local demand. Let's see how this goes, because we are making graphite over here. Awesome. This is really starting to pop up. So now, hopefully, we'll have enough graphite here that we can just keep going. And if we wanted to get really crazy, we have plenty of slots in here. We could even locally pull down refined oil here, which I actually think makes a lot of sense to do, because we're going to probably want to get it off planet at some point. So let's pull down refined oil here. Pop that extra in there. And then we could run refined oil and graphite to produce plastic right off of here if we want to go this direction or anywhere else. So I think we let this operate for a little bit. Just let it simmer. Why is this unhappy? Not getting enough plastic. Why is that? Oh, okay. It's just we're not producing as much plastic as we wanted to. Man, I wish there was like a chemical plant upgrade. I think I called this stream like lab stream or something, right? I think I meant chemical plant stream. So keep that in mind. When I move this over to YouTube, that is what I will change the name to. So episode, whatever this is, working on our chemical plants instead. Okay, so we got a bunch of happy chemical plants. Maybe we don't really have to upgrade this line, but I'm tired of looking at it move that slowly, so we're upgrading the line. This I don't think we need anymore. This was always kind of useless in the first place. Actually, that's not true. It was helpful when we wanted to have that little buffer. Now I don't think we need it. Let us just tighten this whole extra process up there. Okay, there we go. It's a little tighter. I like it. We're actually starting to clear up some space here too, which is nice. Oh, wait, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Well then, okay. Looks like we have plenty of refined oil. We don't even need it up here. We're collecting it down here and we're collecting it up there. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. This is what happens. You know, I mean, I guess it can't hurt to have more. I bet we're going to fully populate that station in like a matter of seconds. Yeah, we're getting up there. It's pretty easy. Well, I guess something else to think about is we could reroute this line around this. Is there any other thing that we need to get into the station that's pretty close to here? I think most of these we're already running. We have like graphene is something that's local that you could think of. You know, everything else. Really, the only reason this is localized is so that we can move that graphite, and we're not actually moving it anywhere at all. So maybe what you're telling me is that this was useless? Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, I think that's what I'm hearing. All right. Well, okay. So episode 9B or whatever episode we're on is going to have to be fix the mistake that we just made. But you know what? That's going to happen another day. Thank you for joining me. We're going to take a break and hopefully come back at some point today or tomorrow. But we will fix the mess that we've made at a later date. So we'll catch you next time.